Well, last week my Sunday message was all about just the right amount, not too little, not too much. And we have had a lot of rain now this week, but it looks like we have a sunny section of weather ahead. And I just thought it's Saturday today, and maybe I came to help Corey set up a water system, but he had to go get some parts, so the animals have been watered because it poured rain, and I don't really have much to do, but I'm here. So I thought maybe it's time to do the Sunday message. But before I get into the Sunday message, I would like... Whoa, great blue heron. Squawk. Before I get into the Sunday message, I would like to say that I'm heading down to Albany the first weekend in July, which includes June 30th, which is the Friday of that weekend. And I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, I will have beef. Corey harvested a steer on Thursday, today's Saturday. So it needs to hang for 10 days, and then the butcher will cut it up. And so as soon as I get the cuts, I'll add them to the website, and you can decide what you want. But if you really want some grass-fed beef, and Corey uses organic practices, it's not certified organic, but it's organic, it's regenerative, it's from his Dexter's, and just really good, high quality grass-fed beef. If you want some, drop me an email, let me know what cuts you are looking for, what are you hankering for, and I will make sure to have the butcher prepare those. And I'm glad I didn't try to drive my car out here. It's a little wet. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is my dad is doing way, way better. He's back to being able to basically get dressed and get undressed and to move around the house without me having to spot him every second. So that's great. And his spirits are improving. And so I want to thank all of you for all your kind words and your prayers and all of that kind of thing. And just, it's been busy here. Just doing the things that need to be done. And yeah, so that's the preamble. Now I have to figure out what I'm going to talk about. So, was it yesterday or the day before? I guess it was the day before. Yeah. Jeez, it's all a blur. I put the boy sheep in here, the rams, and they have already, you can kind of tell they're already kind of clearing stuff out. And they're hanging out right here. And my dogs are already aware that I've arrived. They're barking. But yeah. You may have noticed, if you've watched any of these Sunday messages, that I often don't mention like Mother's Day or Father's Day or Valentine's Day. I do sometimes, but sometimes I don't. And like on Mother's Day this year, I didn't realize it was Mother's Day, right? But I do know tomorrow, or today if you're watching it, or whenever, this Sunday, it's I think the third Sunday in June, is Father's Day. And these are Hallmark card holidays, pretty much designed to sell greeting cards and get people to buy gifts. Yet another way to keep the economy going. And I'm kind of not so in favor of that stuff. Okay, I think it's dumb. All right. But it's important to recognize the gifts that our parents, moms, dads have given us, even if your upbringing wasn't perfect or ideal. We are human beings. Our parents are human beings. We come in with a whole bunch of opportunities to be wounded, to be traumatized, and then to work on healing those as we grow older. And, you know, my dad, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my dad because he has really been struggling lately with some health issues, and he's had health issues in many areas of his life, in many periods of his life. When he was a kid, he was, I guess, 9 years old. He got a scratch and he paid no attention to it. It got infected. Somebody squeezed it, and the pus basically spread to his bloodstream, and he got sepsis, osteomyelitis, and like parts of his body stopped growing. Some of his fingers stopped growing. His left leg stopped growing. And he was in and out of the hospital until about age 16, when his left leg, he chose to have his left leg amputated. And then he did not live the healthiest lifestyle. He smoked, he drank, he ate, you know, probably too much. And at some point in his life, I think it was the 1960s, it may have been the early 70s, he made a bet with my sister that if she stopped sucking her thumb, he would stop smoking. And boom, they both quit right like that. She stopped sucking her thumb and he stopped smoking. At least that's how the story goes. And at one point he had the thought that if he didn't take care of himself in his 40s, that by the time he was old, he would be a basket case. And another dear friend of mine, my friend Tom, who is a quadriplegic, had the same kind of revelation that if he didn't take care of himself, he would not last very long. And so for my father, it was not an option. With only one leg, gaining weight was a problem because he had to fit into the socket of his prosthesis. And he, at one point in his life, was getting pretty heavy, and he realized he had to change. And so he began to read books and do research. He read a lot. Okay, I can't even begin to tell you all the things he's read. And he just kind of, because we are somewhere on the Asperger's spectrum, he became kind of obsessed with health and nutrition. And so it kind of ticks him off that he's not perfectly healthy right now. But his only health problem is that he has a slightly swollen prostate, which makes him more susceptible to UTIs because it's kind of squeezing his urethra and he can't just pee, right? So some of the hospital visits have been about that. He also had a little mini stroke, but he's pretty much sharp. You know, he's on the case, and he basically faces each day with courage. He does not complain. He does not bitch and moan about the fact that he only has one leg. But it's a challenge. It's the simple things that you and I do every day without thinking about it, like even just putting our shoes on or pulling on a pair of pants or taking off a pair of pants. It's not easy for him. And I just want to call him out and celebrate the fact that he just picks himself up and he gets back at it. He's been doing his exercises, and I did challenge him one day. I said, "Did you do your exercises?" "Oh, no, I was waiting for you to come home so you could spot me." I'm like, "Well, you know what? You can roll over there on your chair, grab the sink, and do your exercises right there. I don't need to spot you." And that kind of gave him permission to do it, right? This is a guy who, until the pandemic, he's almost 96, he was still swimming at the St. Lawrence University pool. And he was doing it like 2 to 3 times a week. So he changed his diet. He changed his habits. He began to exercise. And, you know, sometimes I talked to my friend Josh about this. Josh is really into mushrooms, and pretty much his family has had enough of him telling them about mushrooms, right? You know, sometimes we get a little tired of hearing Dad talk about all the health things, right? But I have, to my credit, taken a lot of his advice to heart, and I'm in the best shape of my life, not just because I'm walking so much every day, but because I'm willing to experiment with different diets. And that's kind of like, that's a legacy for my dad. And I want to thank you, Dad, for being willing to learn all this stuff. And yeah, sometimes it'd be nice if we could talk about something else, but to have a passion that is practical, like a passion that can directly make your life better, that's, I think, one of the key lessons that I've learned from my dad. And the fact that, you know, on his side of the family, there was a lot of bipolar kind of stuff. His father was in and out of nursing, or not nursing home, in and out of mental asylums. He suffered from depression, and, you know, and some of my dad's siblings had that as well, but my dad is like, he's pretty steady, you know? And so in a lot of ways, he's an inspiration, not just to me, but to a lot of people. And so on Father's Day, even though sometimes we find our fathers a little annoying because they're so into whatever your dad's into, right? You know, sometimes it would be nice to have a conversation about something else. You know, maybe your dad's into NASCAR and you're not into it, right? Or maybe your dad's into, I don't know, carpentry or playing the guitar, or maybe your dad's an obsessive singer-songwriter and you may think he's a jerk. That's for my own kids. And it may be annoying, the fact that, like, I can't stop singing. Like, I sing wherever I go, and my kids have, you know, they've heard enough of that, you know. They're not exactly rushing out to listen to my music, right? But to appreciate our parents, fathers, mothers, grandparents, for the things that they've overcome and the lessons they've taught us by their example. So I want you to just think about that, and to tie it into a spiritual context. I've lately been thinking a lot about how in the Old Testament and even in the New Testament, people talk about God as Father, right? And, like, God is not an old man sitting on a throne. I'm sorry, people. If that's what you think, that's okay. You're welcome to it. But I shouldn't have to believe that in order to be spiritual, right? God is not male. God is not female. God is all that is. God encompasses everything. God is the fabric of time and space through which we have our being. God is the ocean of awareness, not our Father. But if you think about the gift that fathers and mothers do for their children, they bestow the awareness of the universe. That energy of male and female coming together is the energy of all creation. And so on Father's Day, and this is so rare for me to actually even acknowledge a Hallmark holiday, on Father's Day, you might want to tell your dad you're proud of him. And I am proud of you, Dad, for your courage and for your ability to get back at it and get obsessed with exercise. Even if you're doing it at the sink, holding on. Because exercise, moving your body and putting good food in your body will do so much more for you than many, many other avenues in your life. So I'm obsessed with farming and with music, and Dad's obsessed with nutrition and getting fit, even at age 96, getting back at it, improving the flow to all areas of the being, strengthening what needs to be strengthened, strengthening what needs to be strengthened, shrinking what needs to be shrinked, expanding and opening what needs to be expanded and open, so that you can experience perfect, vibrant, abundant health. So think about that in your own life. Appreciate your parents, appreciate your dad, your mom, even though it's Father's Day. Send some love to your mom, and just be aware that our parents literally are the gateways into this world. Without our parents, we are not here. And everyone comes in the same way. And we all go out eventually. So let's do this with love, with passion. Send out prayers, sending out prayers, holding the people in your heart who need it, and allowing yourself as well to be prayed for, allowing prayers to come in for you and to support you in your life, in your path, in your direction, whatever you're doing. I hope you do it with passion, with love, and fortitude. Peace, love, grooviness. Amen. So I think that might have been the Sunday message. Yeah. So now I got to sing you a song, and I don't know what song, but I'm going to sing you a song. And it's not going to be the one I sang last week, I'm pretty sure. Not a day goes by when I do not wonder why we are the way we always seem to be. What if we leave the chains behind that exist only in our minds, and choose a path that dares us to be free? Though we have failed before and may fail again, I beg your patience, please, till you can hold the shift and accept a lift from the prevailing breeze, so we can strike the match that reignites the flame that no one can explain, and we have the wings to rise above the pain. And the love I hold for you, well, it makes me catch my breath. For you and I are sewn from the very same cloth, and together we are more, and our steps are swift and sure, and every doubt is merely part of the plan. But if you built your walls so thick and tall that you cannot climb or clear, then I will sing this song and sing it loud and long till you cannot help but hear. And even while you sleep, my tune will sink deep into because freedom never bows to fear. And the thought of your smile, even if it takes a while, enables me to dare yet another day. So my fingers caress these strings, and in spite of everything, something larger than we are vibrates the air. And now a light of sorts begins to pour forth into the night, while the eyes that were so blind and sore fill themselves with sight, and the bones of all that went before now bleached dry and white. And I offer you my hand as we land upon a farther shore. Well, I hope you enjoyed the song, and here's some video from the week of animals, doing animal things, cute things. Okay? All right, bye. Hey, bud. How's my rubber tummy doing? Yeah, got a bunch of little piglets all running around, playing in the mud. It's a great life. I love the markings on these guys. That's what I really want. I want interesting looking pigs. They look good on camera. That's what we're looking for. Photogenic pigs. I mean, these little black ones are cute and everything, but nothing like some spots. Differentiations. Yeah. These are rubber tummies too. And they are 4 weeks old now. Uh-oh. They're getting old. Hello. Hi. And it looks like the little ones are doing just fine, even though the big ones are pushing them around a little. So I like to see. We got 2 sleeping over here. Good. So we still have 5 and 2. That's good. He's already starting to use things to scratch. Ah. Like, you're not mine. Get lost. You're not mine. Get lost. See how gentle she was, but letting the other piglets know she's not gonna put up with that. And as soon as these guys kind of become aware of the hot wire and learn what it does, we have a whole new place for them to go. In the meantime, I gotta go home and make some dinner. See there, they eat stuff that you just don't realize is edible. And they're very fussy too. Nicely controlled descent there, Shepard. And he's up.
There it is.
And he's going back down for another one. He's got to do 6 of these. Wow. Nice.
That's 2.
Controlled descent.